Welcome to the Apple Jam Online. I'm Christina, your host, and so happy to be here with you together to celebrate March and things green, anticipating St. Patrick's Day. So sit back, enjoy, and let's get started.
So a song for this St. Patrick's Apple Jam. It is not Irish, but it is about something that I always imagined was green. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper, he loved that rascal Puff, and brought him string and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Together they would travel on a boat with billowed sail. Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow whene'er they came. Pirate ships would lower their flags when Puff roared out his name. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Now dragons live forever, but not so little boys. Painted wings and giant rings give way to other toys. One grey night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more, and Puff that mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. His head was bent in sorrow, grey scales fell like rain. Puff no longer went to play along the cherry lane without his lifelong friend. Puff could not be brave, and so the mighty dragon, he slipped into his cave. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
Oh, our troop was made ready at the dawning of the day. From Lovely and Enniskillen they were marching us away. They put us all aboard a ship to cross the raging main for to fight a bloody battle in the sunny land of Spain. Fairly well, Enniskillen, fairly well for a while. And all around the borders of Erin's Green Isle. And when the war is over, we'll return in full bloom, and you'll all welcome home the Enniskillen Dragoons. Oh, Oh, now Spain is a gallant land where the wine and ale flow free. There's lots of lovely women there to dandle on your knee, and often in a tavern they would make the rafters ring, when every soldier in the place would lift his glass and sing, fare thee well, Enniskillen, fare thee well for a while. And all around the borders of Erin's green isle, and when the war is over we'll return in full blue, and you'll all welcome home the Enniskillen Dragoons. Ah, well, now the fighting's over and for home we have set sail. The flag above this lofty ship is fluttering in the gale. They've given us a pension, lads, of 4pence every day, and when we reach Enniskillen, nevermore we'll have to say, fare thee well, Enniskillen, fare thee well for a while. And all around the borders of Erin's green isle, and when the war is over we'll return in full blue, and you'll all welcome home the Enniskillen Dragoons, and you'll all welcome home the Enniskillen Dragoons.
Hi everyone. For today, my poem is called On Trying to Write a Poem for St. Patrick's Day. I am not Irish. I don't think I know anyone who is Irish, and since I don't know the history behind St. Patrick's Day, I'm not a likely candidate to write an Irish content poem. I want to say I've never been to Ireland, but then I'm thinking maybe I have. I'm thinking of a bus ride, a road, fences, the color gray, a neighborhood that felt sad. I'm thinking Belfast. So, yes, I was in Ireland once, and now I'm thinking harder, wanting more. And there is more, and I can't believe I'd forgotten until now. I have kissed the Blarney Stone. I kissed the Blarney Stone. I have not read James Joyce, Oscar Wilde, or W.B. Yeats. I do have 3 yet-to-be-explored books by Irish poet Paul Muldoon, not to mention an 8-volume CD set of Seamus Heaney's collected poems, as yet unplayed, and I do know the story of Christy Brown because of the movie My Left Foot. The only Irish song that comes to mind is When Irish Eyes Are Smiling, maybe Danny Boy, and because I'm not sure this one is Irish, I look it up and find that the lyrics were written by an Englishman who later modified them to fit the tune of the traditional Irish melody, Londonderry Air. So much to learn. If I'm going to write about Ireland or about St. Patrick's Day, I need to do some research, maybe read those Irish poets, or maybe just write something about the color green. But first, I have to look up the Blarney Stone. I just remember it was up very high, and maybe someone there to assist. I probably have a photo, possibly a certificate somewhere. The archives of our travels occupy several tall bookcases. I look up Blarney Stone, click on the Wikipedia entry, see the picture. I had no recollection of hanging upside down to kiss it, but it's coming back to me now that it was tricky. I was younger then. There are several stories about its origin, its association with eloquence, persuasiveness, the gift of the gab. I suppose I knew this at the time. I found out it's near the city of Cork. I had forgotten it was built into the battlements of a castle. I open a book of poems by Paul Muldoon, land on a page with a poem called Red Knots. I don't know what red knots are. I read the first line, think it is something about childbirth. I begin to read. The day our sun is due is the very day the red knots are meant to touch down on their long haul from Chile to the Arctic Circle. Thus, the poet begins the story of the red knots. And I lose interest in finding documentation of my encounter with the Blarney Stone. I lose interest in writing about Ireland or the color green. I just want to read and reread and absorb, captivated by this smallish poem that feels epic. By the unfolding, by the telling, by this unassuming chronicle of 40 or 50,000 small birds, the marvel of their far from Ireland journey. The magic of words, how a poem can lift you take you where you least expect to be when you least expect it. Thank you.
Hi, Frank McCracken here, all the way from Bonnie, Scotland. I'd like to thank Christina and the Applewood Church again for having me on this Apple Jam Online. It's a great wee night. I love being part of it. Can't thank you enough. And this song I'm going to do for you this time round is by our Scottish bard called Robert Burns. And I really hope you enjoy it. We celebrate every January, towards the end of January, 25th of January, his birth date. We have burn suppers carried out throughout Scotland, the UK, and in actual fact the globe. And I really hope you do enjoy this song. Thank you and God bless. The last time I did this song, I think it was in first year at the Barton Academy, and I could certainly sing a lot higher then than I can now. It's a lovely little Burns song called You Banks and Braes. You banks and braes, oh bonny Doon, how can ye bloom, sae fresh and fair? How can ye chant, ye little birds, and I say weary folk here? You'll break my heart, ye warbling bird that wander through the flurry thorn. Ye mind me, oh, departed joys, departed never to return. Oft hae I roved by bonny Doon to see the rose and woodbine twine, and ilka bird sang o' his love, and fondly say did I o' mine. With lightsome heart I put a rose full sweet upon its thorny tree, but my false lover stole my rose, and she left the thorn wi' me. Ye banks and braes, oh bonny Doon, how can ye bloom, sae fresh and fair? How can ye chant, ye little birds, and I say weary folk here? I say weary folk here.
Hi, so my name is Jill, and I'm here because it's almost St. Patrick's Day, and my grandfather was from Ross County Common, Ireland, but he didn't sing. In Dublin's fair city, live. Girls are so pretty. I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone as she wheeled her wheelbarrow through streets wide and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She was a fishmonger, and though it's no wonder, 'cause so were her father and mother before, and they each wheeled a barrow through streets wide and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. But she died of hay fever, and no one could save her, and that was the end of sweet Molly Malone. Now her ghost waves a barrow through streets wide and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. And that's a sad one.
Over in Killarney, many years ago, my mother sang a song to me in tones so sweet and low. Just a simple little ditty in her good old Irish way. And I'd give the world if she could sing that song to me this day. Tooraloo-raloo-ra, tooraloo-ra-lie, tooraloo-ra-loo-ra. Hush, now don't you cry. Tooraloo-ra-loo-ra, tooraloo-ra-lie, tooraloo-ra-loo-ra. That's an Irish lullaby. Oft in dreams I wander to that cot again. I feel her arms a-hugging me as when she held me then. And I hear her voice a-humming to me as in days of yore, when she used to rock me fast asleep outside the cabin door. Tooraloo-ra-loo-ra, tooraloo-ra-lie, tooraloo-ra-loo-ra. Hush, now don't you cry. Tooraloo-ra-loo-ra, tooraloo-ra-lie, tooraloo-ra-loo-ra. That's an Irish lullaby. The second song I'd like to do is from Finian's Rainbow, and it's How Are Things in Glockamora. I hear a bird, Londonderry bird. It well may be he's bringing me a cheering word. I hear a breeze, a River Shannon breeze. It well may be it's followed me across the seas. So tell me please, how are things in Glockamora? Is that little brook still leaping there? Does it still run down to Donegal, through Killybegs, Kilkerry and Kildare? How are things in Glockamora? Is that willow tree
comes smiling by, and does she walk away, sad and dreamy there, not to see me there? So I ask each weeping willow, and each brook along the way, and each lass that comes a-whistling to Raleigh. How are things in Glockamora this fine day?
Hello, it's fun to be back at the Apple Jam again, and for this special March edition close to St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to play on my alto recorder an Irish folk song called She Moved Through the Fair.
Good evening, everybody, and a happy St. Paddy's Day to all of you.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Now, everyone knows the song The Unicorn, and it was made famous by the Irish Rovers, and it's sort of a St. Paddy's Day song. So we're going to do it for you today, but what you may not know is that there are actions that go along with the words of the chorus. So Linda here is an expert at teaching people the actions that go with the chorus, because we have done it for a number of years at Volkswagen events, at campfire, hundreds of campfires, folk festivals, places where people gather and sing around a campfire. And so we've had as many as 250 people, and I'm serious about that, doing this around a camp, doing the actions around a campfire. Now, they may have had more to drink than you perhaps have, but I'm sure it's going to work just fine. So we're going to teach you slowly the actions, go through the words of the chorus, and then we want you to sing along through the chorus with us and do the actions, and it'll be wonderful. And you have the advantage of we can't see you. Anyway, so let's learn the chorus and the activities. Are you ready, sweetheart?
Yep.
Okay. And there were green alligators, that's the alligator, and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels, that's the camel, and some chimpanzees. Now that's clearly the chimpanzee. Now this is the tricky bit, it goes a bit quickly, but we'll do it slow. There were cats and rats, that's the rats, and elephants. But sure as you're born, the loveliest of all was the unicorn. That's the unicorn. So shall we give it a try? A long time ago, when the earth was green, there was more kinds of animals than you've ever seen. They'd run around free when the earth was being born, but the loveliest of all was the unicorn. And There were green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, the loveliest of all was the unicorn. Well, God seen some sinning and it gave him pain. He said, hey, stand back, I'm gonna make it rain. Hey, brother Noah, I tell you what to do. Don't you build me a floating zoo. And take some of them green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, don't you forget my unicorn. Well, Noah was ready. He answered the call. He finished up making the ark just as the rain started to fall. He marched in the animals 2 by 2, and he called out as they went through, hey Lord, I got your green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but oh, I'm so forlorn, I just can't see no unicorns. Well, Noah looked out through the driving rain. Them unicorns were hiding, playing silly games, kicking and splashing while the rain was pouring. Oh, them silly unicorns. Now there were green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees. Noah cried, close the door, 'cause the rain is pouring, and we just can't wait for no unicorns. Well, the ark started moving. It drifted with the tide. The unicorns looked up from their rocks and they cried. And the waters came down and sort of floated them away. And that's why you'll never see a unicorn to this very day. But you'll see green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, you're never gonna see any unicorns. Happy St. Patty's Day, everyone.
Have fun.
And now for an encore, I'd like to read for you Paul Muldoon's poem, Red Knots. The day our sun is due is the very day the red knots are meant to touch down on their long haul from Chile to the Arctic Circle, where they'll nest on the tundra within a few feet of where they were hatched. 40 or 50,000 of them are meant to drop in along Delaware Bay. They timed their arrival on these shores to coincide with the horseshoe crabs laying their eggs in the sand. Smallish birds to begin with, the red knots have now lost half their weight. Eating the eggs of the horseshoe crabs is what gives them the strength to go on. 40 or 50,000 of them getting up all at once, as if for a rock concert encore. Hope you enjoyed.
And of course, no Irish gathering is complete without a little joke. So here's a little story. Man goes to see the father, and he says, "Bless me, Father, I have sinned. I have slept with a woman of ill repute." "Oh," and the priest says, "Is that you, little Tommy Shaughnessy?" "Yes, Father, it is." "And who was the woman you were with?" "I can't be telling you, Father. I don't want to rat her out." "Well, Tommy, I'm sure you'll find out sooner or later. As you may well tell me now, was it Brenda O'Malley?" "I cannot say." "Was it Patricia Kelly?" "I'll never tell." "Was it Liz Shannon?" "I'm sorry, but I can't name her." "Was it Kathy Morgan?" "My lips are sealed." "Was it Fiona MacDonald then?" Please, Father, I cannot tell you. The priest sighs in frustration. You're a steadfast lad, Tommy Shaughnessy, and I admire you, but that you've sinned and you must atone. You cannot attend church mass for 3 months. Be off with you now. Tommy walks back to his pew. His friend Sean slides over and whispers, "What did you get?" 3 months vacation and 5 good leads. And as always, I'm going to finish with my favorite Irish song, Danny Boy. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. It's you, must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. And I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. But when ye come and all the flowers are dying, and I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me. And I shall hear, though soft, you tread above me, and all my grave will warmer, sweeter be. And ye shall bend and tell me that you love me, and I shall sleep in peace until you come to me. And I shall sleep in peace until you come to me. Thank you, and good night.
And this second song is a bit happier than Molly, and it's called Black Velvet Band. And I've been singing it for decades, and I never knew where Van Diemen's Land was. And I found out it's Tasmania, which is an island just south of Australia. So the poor guy was sent off, all because of a gal with a black velvet band. Her eyes, they're shining like the diamonds. You think of the queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. In a neat little town they call Belfast, apprentice to trade I was found. And many a happy hour there I spent in that neat little town. Till bad misfortune came o'er me, that caused me to stray from the land, far away from my friends and relations. Bad luck to the black velvet band. One evening while I was out strolling, not meaning to go go very far. I met with a pretty young damsel who was selling her trade in the bar. A watch she took from a customer and slipped it right into my hand. Then the law, they came and arrested me. Bad luck to the Black Velvet Band. Her eyes, they shine like the diamonds. You think of the queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied back with a black velvet band. Next morning before judge and jury, for trial I had to appear. And the judge, he says, my young fella, the case against you is quite clear. 7 long years is your sentence. You're going to Bantyman's land, far away from your friends and relations that follow the Black Velvet Band. So come all ye jolly young fellas, I'll have you take warning by me. And whenever you're out for the liquor, me lads, beware of the pretty Colleen, for they'll fill you with whiskey and porter till you are not able to stand. And the very next thing that you know, me lads, you've landed in Bandyman's land. Her eyes, they shine like the diamonds. You think of the queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulders, tied back with a black velvet band. Tied back with a black velvet band. Bye.
Hey, come on everyone, join in for the last chorus. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in the land called Lullaby. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in the land called Lullaby.
Well, we're getting close to the end of our apple jam for this month. But lean in close, I have a little story to tell you. Once upon a time, people would travel from near and far to be together in groups, large and small. They would sit at tables right beside one another. They would join hands, laugh, sing, share stories, eat, and drink. And if they were lucky, there might be live entertainment, which would maybe get them up on the dance floor. Those are wonderful memories, and hold on to them dear, because it won't be too long until we get back to being in the company of our friends and family. Then we can make new memories when people will again be coming from near and far to gather with one another at tables, sitting close, giving hugs and maybe even kisses as they once again enjoy each other's company and fellowship in community, with live entertainment, stories, singing, dancing, laughing, and smiles. So thank you for being here, and I've got a little Irish song called The Parting Glass. If you happen to have a drink close by, you may want to lift it as we get into this piece. Of all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm I've ever done, alas, it was to none but me, and all I've done for want of wit to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. So fill to me the parting glass and drink a health whate'er may fall. Then gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be with you all. Then gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be with you all. Thank you for being here tonight at the Apple Jam. And just to bid everyone farewell, we have a very special piece from our own Applewood United Church Choir. I'm so happy that I'm able to lead them, and we are back at rehearsals. It's been almost a year, and thank you to the choir for meeting on Zoom. We have a shorter rehearsal than we normally do because after our rehearsal, the choir has to go home and they listen to rehearsal tracks that are put together for them, that we put together, and then they record their own voice, a single voice, by listening to the track. They send those tracks in and we combine all of that sound together. It's pretty neat, and it's brought us back together as a choir during this time when we can't physically be together, so it's allowing us to sing together virtually. Thank you to Peter Nunn, who helps us put it all together, and he's also teaching me how to do the same thing so I can help in the process. Here we go. Bye for now, and this is the Old Irish Blessing.
Rain falls on